Unfortunately, I do have the unfortunate news that I noticed scrolling through that the report came down on eWrestling News from Hacksaw Jim Duggan posting on Twitter that Lanny Poffo passed away. Lanny Poffo is the brother of the late great Macho Man Randy Savage and the son of wrestling legend Angelo Poffo. Lanny was 68 years old. It is unknown at this time. It is unknown at this time the cause of death, but Lanny started in the wrestling business in 1974 and was one of the major players within the international championship within ICW International Championship Wrestling, which was their father's promotion in Tennessee, running opposite the Jarretts in Tennessee, and that led to some legitimate heat between the Jarretts and the Poffos for years until Angelo had to close up his doors. Honestly, the reason why Angelo started his promotion was because he felt like his sons were not being booked as top stars when they should be top stars. And in turn, he ended up ostracizing himself and his sons for a time from the NWA because they were an outlaw promotion, which was basically a promotion featured outside the realm of the NWA because they were running opposite one of the most stable members of the Alliance, that being Jerry Jarrett. But much like his brother, Lanny would follow his brother to Memphis after the closure of ICW in 1984 or late 1983, and Randy and Lanny would team up and have feuds against the Rock and Roll Express in Memphis before Randy would make the move to WWE, and Lanny would soon follow his brother to WWE in 1985, competing as a preliminary wrestler as Leaping Lanny Poffo and a babyface, to my knowledge, for one of the first times of his career on a large scale, because Lanny had been a heel in Memphis, to my knowledge, and actually he was probably a babyface in his father's promotion, but that's beside the point. But Lanny would repackage himself in the late 80s as the Genius, showing his skills on the microphone and ability to get heat. He was, he was, ahead of his time on the mic, because he would taunt fans with and face wrestlers with his poetry that he would pen himself. And basically, he became one of the hottest heels in WWE. He became one of the hottest heels in WWE at the time. At one point or another, alongside Mr. Perfect, Lanny Poffo was the heat magnet and manager for Mr. Perfect in Curt Hennig's feud with Hulk Hogan. You know, Lanny Poffo he didn't just get the job in WWE because of his brother. He got the job in WWE because he was good. He kept it because he was good. He belonged there. And he proved that in that feud with Hulk Hogan. Because you don't feud with Hulk Hogan. You know, you don't feud with Hulk Hogan just because, of who you know. Well, unless, who you know is Hulk Hogan. But you don't feud with it. 90% of the time, you don't feud with Hulk Hogan just because you know him. You feud with Hulk Hogan because you're good. And you can hold a candle in the ring and you can make Hogan look good. And Lanny Poffo was more than capable of doing that. And he showed that in the feud with Hulk and Curt Hennig. And then Lanny Poffo would make the jump to WCW, and basically after he left WWE, he really wasn't. He really didn't get as much mainstream attention in WCW as he did in WWE, because I mean he was I don't want to say he was past his prime, but he was slowing down. At the time when he was the Genius, he wasn't an actor. He wasn't a full-time wrestler anyway. He was a part-time performer and a full-time manager, if anything, managing the likes of, as I said, Mr. Perfect. And, basically, he held his own. He more than held his own in the wrestling business and earned his keep. He wasn't just Macho Man's brother, partially because a lot of people didn't even know outside of the wrestling business that he was related to the Macho Man, because Macho Man's name was Randy Savage, not Randy Poffo. Lanny kept his familial name, and Lanny would also return to WWE in 2015 to induct his brother into the WWE Hall of Fame, leaving us with another poem like only the Genius could give. And I'm not much of a poet, so I won't even try. But condolences to the family, the friends, and the fans of the Genius. And what I would say is, tears come and go, but the good times last. The Genius was always better than the best and above the rest. I'm sure that he will be giving those in attendance for the never-ending wrestling show up above the clouds a much anticipated poem like only Lanny Poffo could give. But thank you, Lanny, for the memories. I know your family is waiting for you, your mother, your father, and your brother. And you will be missed unequivocally by all. God bless, rest in peace, and Godspeed. Rest in peace, Lanny.